Now, can you share with us today a little bit about yourself and how your organization services impact the community?
Well, you can go ahead and do that.
Well, Howie, of course, is the founder of the and creator of the Clawson car show, and we're going into our 19th year. And this is a big deal for the Clawson Lions Club, the charities that we support, and the local community. All the businesses get involved south of 14 Mile on both sides of Main Street. That's a half mile's worth, and we generate somewhere between 8,000 and 10,000 spectators during the show period, and that usually runs from 8 o'clock in the morning until possibly 6 o'clock in the evening, depending on how many cars we have. And we generally hand out somewhere around 300 trophies to participants, and we've had upwards of 500 participants at one of our largest shows. That's been pretty good.
When the sun shines.
When the sun shines, 10-4. Yeah.
Now, what are some examples of the way you have seen your organization's work make a difference throughout the community?
Well, Lions Club's we've always been a staunch community backer, and we have a lot of our own projects that we do also with so many things. Of course, Leader Dog is our biggest, and it just happens that weekend that I have the show, Leader Dog has all their muckety mucks come in that from all over the world to go up to Rochester. So I can't change my dates, and obviously they're not going to change their dates. But, we do a lot. We were building ramps there for a long time for the people of Clawson, and then it just comes to the point now we're getting too old to do that stuff. And it is costly and what have you, but we do a lot for this community of Clawson.
Well, the pavilion's one of them that a lot of people visit. That was a Clawson Lions Club project that we built, and that was in 70? Oh, that was earlier than that. The pavilion's been around a long time, but and then it's been renovated since then. But we also do ice cream social. The concert in the park is where we have the ice cream social, and that's a big event. And then the 4th of July, of course, is huge. We have a game called the Dime Toss that generates a lot of money for charity, and we're working on our 4th generation of participants in the Dime Toss, so that speaks volumes right there. So but like Howie mentioned, the handicap ramps, the wheelchair ramps, there's quite a few of them in Clawson that Clawson has built, and we've also helped other other Lions clubs build ramps when they've asked for help. We've helped, which Lions clubs do. We scratch each other's back as often as we can. It's a pretty good organization.
Now, when is the car show, and how many years has it been going on?
Well, it's August 12th. It's always a week before Dream Cruise, which we set that up on purpose. I did that 19 years ago. Ralph Haney, myself, and one of our members, Tom Puckett, now down in Tennessee, we sat down one day and we said, wouldn't it be nice to have something in Clawson? And I said, yes, because I want to do something on South Main Street. Because it was, wasn't doing that well. There wasn't a lot of business down there, and it just so happened, everybody said, well, you're never going to be able to shut that street down. Well, I remember I went out and it was below zero weather, getting signatures from all the businesses through there and what our plan of attack was, and it came across very well. We had a couple that were against it, but that passed. But then we've done very well with it all these years, and brought a lot of people into Clawson, and a lot of people come there for a lot of reunions. A lot of the people that they graduated out of Clawson, they have cars. They come from all over Michigan. They come there for that special day.
Now, what types of activities can residents expect to see at the car show, other than the cars, of course?
Well, that's interesting, because there are so many displays along the corridor on both sides that there's really not much that else that can be done. But the businesses, they support the car show by coming out into the street and whatever goods they have, like Wonderland or Wonderground Magic. They'll be out on the street, and they have residents participate or spectators participate. All of the music that goes on. We have Rockin' Ronnie, who's done the DJing for us for quite some, well, from day one, and he is excellent. He's a wonderful speaker. He keeps the crowd going. He keeps the music going. There's always something exciting that comes out of his microphone or into his microphone. And there's 50-50 raffles that we do every now and again. Well, and we've done this from not every year, but from year to year. There've been we had a Zumba crowd during midday, and then one year we had a swing dance group that came in. Then we had what was the gals from the Hustle?
I tried to get a Hustle world to go in the Guinness Book of Records, and I ran across some people out of Detroit. They brought their whole group here.
Yeah.
We told everybody in the city about it, and we almost
It started to
quarter
work.
mile. We were hoping for
to work.
half a mile of hustle, but we got a quarter mile, and there's no records, but everybody had a ball.
Yep. So there's those things that go on, but there's so much with all the displays, the cars themselves, that really keeps the kids. It's amazing to watch the kids. The kids are excited by it. The adults, of course, but the fact that it's a community event, whether it be Clawson, Royal Oak, Troy, Madison Heights, there are people that haven't seen each other for 30 years, and they bump into somebody. And so it's old friends, new friends, conversations get going, and hell, they could last half hour. A conversation. You just can't peel people away from each other. So it's all of that. It's good. There isn't anything like bounce houses or anything, but the church in Clawson, they have a bounce house down there that they've tried a couple of times, and it seems to have worked. But yeah, mostly it's just a lot of music, a lot of vehicles, crazy displays that people have that their imagination runs wild. One year that Thomas Video had the Ghoul, and the Ghoul was famous for exploding watermelons and the like. And that was pretty entertaining until pieces of the watermelon decided to land on some of the classic cars. So that put an end to that, but it was exciting for a few years.
Also, we have the Vietnam vets. We have a group that comes in, and they have a couple of Jeeps, and they're all in uniform, and we march from where our Lions
Tavern,
Club,
yeah.
our tent's at. We walk from there south all the way down to the church, our Clawson Church, with Reverend Bob there, and we do a salute.
Do a flag raising and a
Flag raising, and it's for our veterans. And it's something a lot of people don't do enough for, but this idea came to my head years ago, and we've been doing that for, golly, how long now?
Oh, the
8, 9 years.
Midday
something like
Memorial has
that.
been almost 10 years, yeah.
10 years? Yeah, so.
Now, where can one find out more about the Lions Club, and how could one become a Lion?
Oh, two great questions.
There.
As far as finding out about the car show, we have posters plastered all over the city. We do our best to keep our website up and running so that the car show, because we start the next year's car show promotion the day after the day after the one we just finished. So the website gets put together pretty quickly. So there's always registration forms and sponsor forms there. It's www.clawsonlions.org. It's easy. Of course, with the websites now, it's real easy to Google that stuff. But Facebook, and of course I've just had a little bit of a re-education on Facebook, so we're going to get better at that. We have advertised on Facebook for the last couple of years, maybe 3 years now. We have flyers at City Hall, at Hunter Community Center. We put them at the library. There are some businesses that hand out the registrations for us. The email also is info@clawsonlions.org, and anybody who wants to ask about the car show or get registrations or anything, just send us an email, and within a few days you'll have the information. And then of course we're always walking the streets. There's all the Lions Club members are in their own way are knocking on doors and asking for sponsors and handing out registration forms for participants. And with that, we hope that people will ask us a little bit more about the Lions and maybe becoming a Lion. And we do that by wearing Lions logos, hats, shirts, badges, to let people know that we're around. And if they have questions, please ask. We're more than happy to answer them, hopefully with the right answers, generally speaking. We have 2 meetings a month at City Hall, 7 o'clock in the evening. If somebody's
Second and fourth Mondays.
Second and fourth Mondays, and if anybody's interested in coming to a meeting to see what we do, all they have to do is send an email, ask, and we'll put them on the agenda. We're more than happy to have people show up and see what we do.
Wonderful. Now, to both of you, what do you love about Clawson?
Well, I've lived here all my life. I've been in politics, and I've done a lot. We was in the JCs. We put on the Clawson Parade. That's where it started from, in JCs when I was in my 20s. And I just love everything about Clawson, or I wouldn't be running, or I wouldn't have ran for city council. And I've always stated that. And my love for Clawson goes very deep. I used to have customers I used to go to lunch with, and they said, well, we know where we're going to go for lunch. We're going to Mr. Clawson. That's Clawson Steakhouse. So that was pretty much it.
Well, for me, it's kind of an interesting aspect. My wife and I live at the north end of Royal Oak, just a stone's throw the other side of Rochester, Rochester Road. But for the longest time, as long as we can remember, we spent most all of our money here in Clawson. It's quaint, it's close. People have always been friendly. There's enough of a shopping venue for us, with our needs. The Clawson Shopping Center's got a pretty good venue and a pretty good array of businesses. Main Street, you can't ask for enough eateries and local taverns. 14 Mile, it's great. It's just always friendly. A lot of the same, as crazy as this sounds, it's a lot of the same people, and it has been for a long time. It's just, people don't leave. So we come all the way over from Royal Oak, from the north end of Royal Oak, about 100 yards, and here we are in Clawson, and it's as its motto is, it's a little city with a big heart, and it truly is. They have just about everything you'd want. It doesn't have all that hustle bustle of some of the other communities, what they're trying to do.
I gotta say one thing. Clyde's been with me, helping me in this show from day one, and it took me forever to get him into the Lions Club because he was working, and I know his schedule. He was working day and night. Finally got him into the Lions Club. I'll tell you what, he's our best member we've ever had. And now in the last 5-6 years, he's helping me with the show, and he's taken a lot of burden off of me because I never used computers. I always did everything by hand, so everything was written out, and I had papers all over the place, and papers and pencils, and nothing ever on a computer spread, So I got to thank him so very much for everything he's done and all the help he's done for me on this show.
Wow, flattery will get you everywhere. That's I appreciate that. It's a good group, great bunch. Like how he said, it's been from day one. We've been friends longer than that, but always a good friend. He's done an amazing job for the community. It's a pleasure to have him ride with me at the 4th of July parade. He's a good leader, good man to be with.
Wonderful. Thanks, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.